right, everyone, welcome to the Ignite Initiative. I have a very special guest on today, Cody Cavenaugh of Cavenaugh Media. And Cody is 22 years old and runs his own marketing agency and actually had his best month this past July in 34K at 22 years old. So, Cody, welcome.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on here. Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, of course. Cody, so, somebody your age, the first thing that strikes me is, and, we can kind of give a little backstory. We met at a conference, a marketing conference in Dallas. And the first thing that struck me was, just how prepared you were and how into it you were at this age. Honestly, with any age, it doesn't even matter what the age is, but that really, struck me. And, seeing what you're talking to you more and just knowing what you do, was it one thing I thought of was it really hard to tell your parents and family, this is the route you were going in the beginning, especially in college? Explain that a little bit more. How did it all start?
I think for me, I had a really special circumstance. I always knew I didn't want to go get a traditional corporate job. That was always my goal of, hey, I want to have the freedom of working for myself, kind of like everybody wants to do, right? You don't want to go work 9 to 5, but a lot of people go work the 9 to 5 corporate route because it's very comfortable. And so for me, I was, I went to Baylor University. I graduated back in May. I'm currently 22. And I kind of had the intention of when I went to college of, hey, I'm going to have a ton of fun my freshman and sophomore year. And then junior year, I'm really going to lock in and create a fun business that I could potentially do after college. And that's exactly what I did. So junior year, I really locked in. Joined a fraternity, stopped going out to the fraternity as much, went from every day to weekends. And
smart move.
Yeah. And I really kind of just dedicated a ton of my time I had to the business. And so whenever I had to talk with my parents of, hey, I don't really want to go get a job, they're like, yeah, that's fine. Just maybe do this on the side of getting a job. And once it's successful, then you could go full time to it. So for me, I was like, okay, well, I definitely need to become successful before I graduate. So I'm not in that position.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing, my best month was, I believe, February, and I did 25,000 in college.
You're still in college.
Yeah, I was in college. So I kind of had a fun little talk with them. I was like, hey, all my friends are graduating. We did 25,000 this month. I'm not going to go get a job after college. And they're like, well, I completely agree. You shouldn't. So I had a very unique circumstance of being prepared before I had to have an uncomfortable talk that worked out really well for me.
Yeah, so that's one way to do it, right? Prove it first and then show the results, right? And who's going to say no to that? And that's pretty cool. That's really cool. I mean, most of your friends are probably making college, making $15-20 an hour. You're making 25K in a month, basically. So pretty impressive. And Cody, you were telling me that getting into this kind of happened by accident. So how did it happen? How did you get into this field?
Yeah. So, a little bit more background about me is I bought my first real estate investment property back in June of 2021. So that's kind of right during the whole COVID thing, got a really good interest rate. And I wanted to really go all into real estate, right? I didn't want to become a real estate agent, but I wanted to become an investor. And I hired somebody off Upwork, which is a freelancing platform, to build a website for me. Paid him $250, and he built one of the worst websites I have ever seen. And I was a broke college kid, and I was like, hey, this kind of sucks. And he was like, well, it's the best I can do. So I was like, okay. So I paid him, taught myself how to do website design via me, and went and built a really good website for myself. And I was like, hey, well, I can make money doing this. And that's how I had a crash course introduction to website design by teaching myself via YouTube.
That's amazing. So you kind of just took that and kind of ran with it, right? The key to not the key to entrepreneurship, but the main idea is finding a problem, right, that people have and then solving it very well, right? And you can kind of keep on repeating it, and it's a problem that can pay you, basically, right? So I guess you recognize that and took advantage of that, which is super smart. Now, obviously, all right, I can make a website, say, right? I can make a website, although you might disagree with me, but I could make a pretty good website, right? But what if I don't know how to sell it? Like, how did you get people to sell it to you? That's another part of the problem, right? Like, what did you do from there?
That is, here's the thing. There's kind of levels to it, right? So you can be the very best, right? I do website design, SEO. I work a ton with high level Facebook ads, Google. We're really a one-stop shop, right? And I run the
Yeah.
business with my brother who's younger than me because I've taught him how to do it. Um, but you could be the very best at website design. And if you don't know how to market yourself, you're going to get no customers. And that's the problem people have is if you don't know how to market yourself, you aren't going to get any customers. So I got pretty good at website design and I was just sending applications in via Upwork, literally just cranking out applications and I was getting no customers. And I was like,
Hmm.
that really sucks. And I finally got one, probably sent 200 applications, got one website design project for a nonprofit out over in Africa. And it was like for $400. And it was like a 15-page website. It was a massive project.
You probably lost money on it.
Yeah. I mean, hourly, it was horrible, but it was my first customer.
Of course.
And I then was like, all right, like I need to find ways to market myself. But at the time, I didn't know that. So I started cold calling to sell websites. And that's how I got my feet wet to become successful on a miniature scale of getting my name out there.
Wow. So that's a huge problem in any industry, right? So like obviously I'm from the fitness background, right? So like if you're a good trainer and you're really good at the training and the X and O's, you can be the best trainer out. Doesn't mean you're gonna be successful because you can't really get clients, you can't market yourself, can't market your gym, market your abilities. So that's what's true with every single business, in my opinion. Some people think they're the best cooks, but their restaurant's not busy. Well, no wonder, right? It's more than just good food, right? That's a good part of it, but it's more than that. So you're actually cold calling businesses. Like, how did this work? Explain this to me because this is pretty interesting. I'm gonna start doing it.
Yeah, I mean it probably isn't something I'd recommend. There's much better ways to market yourself. No, and I know that now. So I don't cold call anymore. But my typical day was I'd wake up around like 9 or 10 and I'd go hit the gym and I'd go to class because Baylor has a 75% attendance policy where if you're below that, you automatically fail. So
Wow. Okay.
that was a huge killer for me was I'm happy to get C's and B's and not ever attend, but I have to attend. So I'd go to class, I would search up landscapers near me because I was in Waco. Now I'm
In
in
class. This
Dallas.
is in class, Cody.
I would be in class just working on my business. I had multiple talks with all my teachers about, hey, you're here, but you're not really here. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I agree. Um, but I would basically make my own list of people to call in class. And I'd go home and I'd cold call every person like on a Google My Business page of landscapers near me. And I just go
Wow.
one by one. And I do that for like 1 to 2 hours at a time between my classes. And that's how I got my first initial customers.
Wow. How many days did it take you to get your first customer? Like, just explain that. 'Cause I know like so many people quit so early. So this is important.
I mean, so I took a ton of time watching YouTube videos on it. And I also was selling websites for $300 or $400 via cold calling. So I wasn't selling them for much. And
Gotcha.
so they knew that, right? So I was like, how best can I market myself? These people don't need a website because they don't have one. They might not even want one because they don't have one. So
Yeah.
I would cold call them up, introduce myself, say, hey, I just want to see if I can speak to the business owner of insert business name. And they're like, oh, yes, this is he. I'm like, oh, great. My name's Cody Cavenaugh. I'm currently a senior at Baylor. I started a website design business. I wanted to talk to you about potentially building a website for your business. Got a lot of no's, had some people be interested. Then I'd pitch them on meeting me in person. Because if you can meet them in person, it really goes up your like closure
Of
rate.
course. Of course.
Meet them in person, come up with example websites to show them. And then I'd probably have like a 1 to 2 meeting in-person meeting close for like a $400 website. So it wasn't like a good management of time, but at the end of the day, a lot of times people want to help people when they're really grinding. And if you can deliver a good product and show, hey, these are websites that I've built and I'm only charging $400 for it, they're gonna be like, oh, this is a really good deal and probably take you up on it.
Of course. And like for you at that age, especially you're younger and you still are young, but like it's not about the money at that point. It's more about the experience and getting that experience of how to sell stuff, how to perform the projects for these people. I'm sure that was a huge value for you alone, besides the money aspect. Obviously you want to make money, but
Yeah. I mean, being able to get your name out there, what I always tell people, because I've mentored, I just mentored somebody actually, the first person I started mentoring, is hitting his first $10,000 month in August. And he's actually about to be a senior at Baylor. So he's still in college.
wow.
He's doing 10,000 for August this month. He's might hit 15 to 20, but I don't think he can manage it yet. So he's probably not going to try to. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, if you can get your name out there, if you can sell people on the phone, it makes everything so much easier. If you can master that skill set of calling people, then in person, it's over because you already know
Yeah,
how to talk to them. And now you're in person. You can actually show them, shake a hand, make eye contact.
exactly. And it's just going to help your sales ability, which is needed in every business, no matter what position you're in, right? If you're owning a business, you're going to need to do that. So, Cody, so go back to college. So you're in college and, you had a 25K month inside of college, right? So like, how was that? Like, how did you balance it? And like, were you like showing it off to your friends at all? Like, what, like, how did this work? Like, were you like the man on campus? Did everybody know or nobody knew? Or how was it, what was it like?
It was really a hit or miss, right? So I mean, like I feel like whenever you start doing really well, people really want to support you.
Of
But then
course.
once you do really good, people kind of become a little bit jealous, right? So
Yeah.
I'm a super open, transparent guy. And whenever people knew I was doing good because I told like my inner circle, right? Like my close 4 to 5 really good friends. I told them all how I was doing because they would ask and people would hear about it and come ask me and I'd tell them how I was doing. And I kind of realized once I broke about 15,000 a month as a college kid, people were like, people were kind not treating me different, but just like more like, oh, he's super successful. Let me go talk to him. Let me go talk to him. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't really like the attention here. So then
Yeah.
so once I kind of got to 10 to 15, I really stopped telling people. And they asked, and then I only let my close friends know about it. And I actually ended up hiring 4 of them to work with me part time when I was at 25K a month because I needed the help.
Awesome. So yeah, that's a smart move. Are they still with you now, or they're kind of off in their own
So,
things
so,
now?
th- so they're all part time. So we were all
Okay.
seniors in college, and they'd come work with me like whenever I really needed something. And I'd pay them like 30 an hour. So they're really happy to work with me because they're making good money, and I'm
Yeah.
happy to work with them because they're my friend and they're doing good work. But because we all graduated in May, they all have corporate jobs now. So now they don't need now my money of 30 an hour isn't enticing because I have a corporate job, but in college it was.
Of course, of course. But I'm sure you're obviously growing the business, and you're building the team below you. So, um, Cody, the 34K breakthrough month, was there any like certain reason behind it? Was there any like specific thing that happened? Was it just reaping the rewards of all your hard work, or like what was it exactly?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a huge fan of just putting in hours and working hard. And something I really need to work on is working smarter, not harder, because I like
Yeah,
pride myself on how hard I work. Um, and like I watched this one video, I think it was on Instagram of it was either of Goggins or like Andrew Tate, and it was like, hey, every day if you work every single day and you don't take a day off, eventually you're bound to get lucky, just because you're continually putting yourself out there. So I mean, for August, I would say the reason why we did so well was everything aligned perfectly. I mean, it was I didn't take a day off. I had websites come in. I got new customers through referrals. I got new marketing packages. I had people reach out to me. Just
yeah.
everything lined up through my continuous work and effort that it made August just compound.
Yeah, that's interesting because like I don't buy into the bullshit of like take the day off or take 2 days off a week and kind of reset yourself. Like I never really bought into that. I'm happy I never bought into that because I'm reaping the rewards of that now. And for you to do this at such a young age, like you're going to have so many benefits when you're older because of this. And, there's just that soft mindset that's out there. And, I don't care what people say. It's like, they're like, take the day off and, reset yourself, reset your mind. Like, yeah, like you could do that a little bit if you have to. Like for me, it's like, I like to work. I enjoy my work. I think that's super important. You have to enjoy the work first. And if you enjoy it, right, when you're done, take that break, take that break. You can take it when you need to, but like, how it is, right? Do you agree with that?
I completely. I mean, I think that there's even a video of Dana White talking about how this new generation is so soft on how hard they work.
Yeah.
And I found that funny, if any. I just found it very funny. But in reality, I'm looking at it like if I'm consistently working and putting in the hours in and giving it everything I have, there's no reason why I cannot be successful. And I found that to be so true.
Agreed, because even if, especially like you might have been working like stupid hours, right, with the website early on, but you were just learning stuff and experiencing stuff, and now you have way better systems, and now you're at that 30K plus months, and you're just going to keep on multiplying that. You know how that's going to go if you continue to keep working hard like you are. So that's awesome, Cody. And any like major hurdles that you faced at all throughout this where you were like, I might hang it up or something like that? Any of those experiences happen?
I mean, there's been some of it. I mean, me, I love the work I do, right? So I do it every day, all day, because I actually enjoy it. And to
Yeah.
me, it feels like a video game, right? I was huge into COD, Fortnite, Minecraft when
Yeah.
I was younger. Like I love playing video games. And when I go build a website or like build an automation in high level or build a Zap, it feels like I'm playing like a real life video game. So that for me is super cool. The only I would say the only time I've like been like this is pretty difficult was about a year ago as I was working an internship for like insurance, and the
Okay.
internship was from like I would get there at 8:45 every day, Monday or Tuesday through Thursday, like in person, and then I'd get home like at 4:30. So I already had made the transition to cold calling, but I couldn't really cold call because I got home at 4:30. So I'd literally leave my internship, like speed home, but it was rush hour traffic. So you're not going fast
Of
at all.
course.
Get home, have a pre-built list of businesses to call that I made while at my internship, and get home and rip cold calling from like 4:30 to 5:30 every day. Tuesday through Thursday was when I was in person. Monday, Friday, I was remote. So Monday through Friday, I was ripping cold calling all day. But
Damage.
Tuesday through Thursday, I was rushing home to like cold call. And it's very hard to schedule a meeting while you have that. And everybody's, when you're a junior in college, senior in college, pushing you to go get a job, go get an
Of
internship.
course.
This is why you went to college. Um, so all of that pressure, like, hey, this is what we recommend. Go get an internship, go get a job while you're trying to build something on the side is a lot to manage. And it wasn't more of, hey, let's hang up our cleats per se of like calling it quits because that's not what I would want to do. It was just like, hey, this is pretty difficult. And Monday through Friday, I'm not going to get that much sleep every night. I'm probably going to get 6 hours every night. And then Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to get like 10 to 12 and
Yeah. Yeah.
go from there.
So it probably helped you with like time management and all that. Now, with the insurance internship, what were you looking to get out of that? Or were you just like simply like checking a box just so like your parents and friends or your teachers or what was that like?
I mean, at that time, business wasn't doing too well because I
Gotcha.
just
Sure.
started.
Okay.
And it was more of a deal of, hey, let's check the box. I had a background in real estate. So it's like a real estate insurance internship. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, it's kind of what I like, what I have a background in. Let me check the box. Let me set myself up to get a job and do this on the side until I can make it a job. And then I actually did it. And I was like, this is not fun. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I just locked in and built a business I could have after I graduated.